Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Adam RPG with me, Bring It On. Let's check out this giant robot. Before you stands a huge machine on a caterpillar track. The top of this strange machine is crowned with a metal cube, which is probably made to resemble a human head. You can't remember what this kind of machine is called. Look at the body. The main body of the machine has a metal plate on it. On top of the plate is a simple lock, which can be opened with some know-how. I'll pick the lock and remove the plate. After some fiddling with the rusty lock, you finally remove the metal plate with a quiet snap. Before you use a jumbled mess of colored wires. You can take them with you and sell them to someone in the wastes, or you can leave them and try to fix the metal giant. Now let's try fixing it. The machine is far too complicated for you. You cluck your tongue, rub your head, and finally realize that any attempts at fixing this machine will only break it even further. Alright, let's back out. Let's see if we can have one of our companions do it. Nope. Okay. Alright, tear out the wires. You spit on your hands and pull a bunch of wires with force. Valuable metals are worth a lot, but in trade, the idea of ever repairing this technological wonder dies forever. I'll kick the machine. Off camera, I did kick the machine. There's an achievement for killing yourself by kicking it. Each time you kick it, you take 1 damage. I'm not going to bother showing it on camera, because you guys won't see the achievement anyway. Ouch, you hurt your leg. You briefly wonder if continuing to kick this giant will result in your death. No reason to try and see, though. The machine, on the other hand, does not react to your attack. Yeah, you just spam click hit the machine and kill yourself, and you'll get an achievement. Alright, let's go in the other door first. Alright, this is the one that we need the code from that diary. 4316. Perfect. Magazine Youth and Technology number 1. There's a rat in here as well. Kinda hoping he'll just come over to us so I don't get poisoned. Come on, rat. Well, maybe I'm safe right here. Nope. I am poisoned. Come on, loot the rat. Thank you. Alright, to speed things along, I'm going to equip my... lockpicks for these, wire dispensers is what I'm going to call them. Alright, so Magazine Youth and Technology number 1. Oh, plus 10 points in technology. Sweet. Youths in Engineering 1/1/1985. Cover story. Computers are the future of the mankind. A computer. This wondrous word isn't common for many USSR citizens. But in the future, the situation will change. Computers are the future. Computers and communism, that is. Thus said Alexei Podgorny, the head engineer at the DV Buretov's Calculating Machine Manufacturing Factory. Okay. What kind of a device is a computer? Comrade Podgorny explained it this way. It's a machine or a system that can complete an interchangeable set of tasks. Mostly these tasks involve calculation or data manipulation. But input-output operations are also possible. We listen with awe, not daring to falter the speech of this modern-day Copernicus. But he notices that we are too quiet, and gives out a fatherly laugh. Too many hard words for you? Yes, a bit, we answer, while blushing. Could you give a more simple definition? Sure. Now imagine a calculator. And imagine that it no longer just lets you make number calculations. It also lets you write, draw, create music. Say, you like to write a letter to your grandma who lives on a state farm. Nothing is more simple. You push a button which allows you to type on a keyboard, and input your letter into the computer. When finished, with just a press of a button, you would print out what you wrote, and get your letter on paper. And it's not just a high-tech typewriter. On a computer, you can correct any spelling errors on the go. And then we ask, if we imagine that Grandma also has one of these computers, can we send her device a letter from our device without printing it on paper? The engineer nods. Sure you can. Even while we speak, there are certain scientists working on a certain web of computers that will connect them all. In the West, such a web already has been invented. Now our researchers want to understand and improve it. The youngest of our group lifts his hand and asks a funny question while looking very shy. Can the computer be used to play some kind of games? Comrade Podgorny looks at the boy strictly, but still smiling with his eyes, and wags his finger saying, "A computer is too important of a device. It is designed to help us with communication, creativity, and work. It will entertain our minds, not give us low childish entertainment. And even if it wasn't so, I can't imagine a game made on a computer. How boring it would probably be." Alright, this is getting a little too meta. We all nod in agreement and point our fingers at the young boy who asked the silly question. We're all young, but we're not infants. Our talk with the engineer went on for hours. He shared his thoughts on the future of humanity, which seemed like something out of science fiction. But it wasn't just some young dreamer talking to us, but an experienced, serious man. He talked, and pictures of an amazing future stood before our eyes. A Siberian Evenk types a story about our motherland's victories on his computer. A forest-dwelling Samoyed types a letter to his comrades in Cuba. A worker from Moscow reads the latest news. In the eyes of all these people is reflected the glimmering light of the future, a CRT screen of a computer. I'm gonna die of poisoning because I can't lockpick these darn things in time. But the experience. Alright, how poisoned am I? 500, oh boy. Carrot. It's minus 250. It's gonna be close. If I do this and that and that, I think I can work with that poisoning for right now. We'll see if we can find more water while we're exploring Bunker 317. Alright, so that's the way down. Let's go in here and not know how to use a computer. Oops. Alright, waste paper has value. Let's try turning on the computer. There's a computer sitting on the table. It's very modern for pre-war tech. Although covered in a layer of dust, it looks like it might still be usable. I'll try to turn it on. You look the computer over, blowing away the dust, wiping your hand across the screen. You press some buttons on the keyboard, but nothing happens. The computer just sits there, probably broken ages ago. I can't have my companions use it. That's fine. So I should be able to just lockpick this door. It should be locked, and the other way to open it is to get the code from the computer. But with sleight of hand, anything's possible. I'll send you to a bank. A blood bank. Hopefully you guys see why it's so essential that you get the action hero distinction. Verifying MDI pool data. A well-preserved computer. Boot from CD. Disk boot failure, insert disk and press enter. So I need to find a disk. I don't remember that. Good news is Fidel's gonna be swimming in ammunition. Oh yeah, one of these things. There's an unknown machine standing before you. If you knew something about old tech, you might have even recognized it. Yeah, but my character's just a big old dum-dum, so... He hits good, though. Sometimes it's all that the wasteland needs. Yep, locked. Scraped door, lift floor. Alright, let's try and hurry this along. Okay, I'm starting to question whether or not I can actually do this. Alright, let's ask for help. Does he have the highest lockpicking out of my companions? 30, 29, 27, 26, yeah. So if I can't do it... See, if they can't do it... Oh, there we go. Or sorry, if I can't do it. Because the game wouldn't block you out of progressing if you don't have the technology or the lockpicking required. I assume that the other computer that you don't actually go into a dialog box for also has the would probably open that door for you. You get the disc off the other computer with the dialog box. I've never done it because I've never gone through the game with technology, or sufficient technology. Big old poison room. Not looking forward to going in there. I don't think we need rope down here. Might be mistaken. Alright. See if we get in and out before we get poisoned. Oh, they want to grab those. Are these all... Stupid microchips. They don't really sell for that much either. Well, I guess it depends on the merchant that you sell them to as well. Alright, so which way is the best way to go? I forgot how big this place is. A lot to explore. Oh, didn't even see that guy standing there. Not that it particularly matters. The memo. We, 5534, Petrov and Newman, 8904, Zadunaysky and Koshkin, 7037, Krasnov and Semenov, 5503, Terentiev and Vavilov, 8210. Okay. We'll read that in a second. Also, always look underneath the beds if you play through this game. There's a couple bunkers or dungeons that have like a safe under the bed and things like that. Holy crap. Alright. Let's get started. I acknowledge my mistakes, and I am ready to receive the proper punishment for them. Baksanov's position on this matter disturbs me greatly. Need I even say that they are all unhappy with my statement? The talk was really hard, and the ending of it, very awkward. But now this topic is finally closed, so it's all for the best. A few words about my future home. They sure didn't spare any expenses. Automatic doors, each equipped with motion-sensing apparatus. You can even input a code to use instead of a key. It seems like an overpriced, unnecessary thing, but I think someday doors like this will be everywhere, even in shops. Krasnov got a strange phobia because of these doors, though. He's afraid that after some error, these doors will endanger people around the bunker. The tech staff proved there is no danger involved, but he still believes that sooner or later, one of these doors will cut his head off. A strange superstition from a rational man. But the lab is equipped like something out of this world. All the instruments are in ideal condition. The machines lack markings, but I believe they are East German. There is a room for test animals. I believe we'll have to experiment on them during our stay. A vivisection comes to mind. We also have Elecon computers, EVMs, and even Western designs. An amazing level of equipment. I think these machines surpass everything I used before. The nature of our research is not known to most of us. The full picture is probably only known to our leader, Nina Semyonovna, or Novna, as she's pulling all the strings. As for me, I suspect we're working on a kind of biological weapon. Most of us think that nuclear weapons are the most destructive. How wrong they are. The most dangerous weapon is indeed biological. I started ordering the Pravda newspaper to keep up with the times. So many things happened during my stay in the bunker. I'm also considering a subscription to the Literature Digest and the New World Journal. A good read never hurts. Today I got the chance to get to know our leader, Nina Semyonovna. At supper, she asked what I think about poetry. I was really surprised by this, because I always thought of her as someone too practical for such matters. Without even thinking, I lied, saying that I loved poetry. She recommended reading Bloc. What an interesting person she is. Her green eyes sometimes light up with no apparent reason, with no connections to the topic of the discussion. But with these eyes, they do not live on their own. They follow Nina Semyonovna's feelings and thoughts. What does she think about, I wonder? Just about work? Got a bit sick today. I blame the trip to the local site called the Zagaremsk Waterfall. Quite the place, actually. The water in it has a reddish tint, almost like blood. Some microorganisms are probably to blame. Strange nobody ever tried to learn more about that phenomena. A local legend tells us of a fight between two strongmen, Big Normor and Anzar the Brave. They fought in the Zagarem Hill until they ran one another through with swords. I can only imagine how surprised the people of the past were to find this bloody waterfall. Anyway, I'm writing this from the medbay. I have to spend a few days here. How good is it that I start subscriptions to newspapers? That I started subscriptions. A change in staff today. The new specialist is Naiman YG, who'll be replacing the departed Nikolaev. 26/4/1980. Okay, 5/7. I should probably be reading the dates as well, to give a sense of time, because this is several months later. Today, we and Naiman discuss what is more important: the physical body functions or emotions. I think that the body is more important. Emotions are a product of it. But Naiman thinks otherwise. He loves music and is fairly creative, sort of a mix between a scientist and a poet. Interestingly enough, judging by my observations, Naiman himself isn't prone to empathy. 3/9/1983, or sorry, 13. I keep ignoring the first number. It seems that we're not the only lab that is currently busy with the project. There is at least one more. Although where it is located and who is part of the team there, I do not know. Interesting information, though. Are we working on parts of some giant project? Are we making the same thing but with different approaches? Maybe we have the same work plan, and the other labs are spares in case something goes wrong in one. Too many questions. Sadly, I doubt I'll ever find the answers for them. 27/3/1984. Today, me and Krasnov finished a chess session that lasted 2 days. Each afternoon we met in the rest area to continue our play. The others watched us with interest. I must say, Krasnov is a great chess player, but sometimes he is prone to risky moves. Thus, he has a more adventurous playstyle. I, on the other hand, believe that the best style of play is that of a tactician. Each move is a riddle, a puzzle, which must be solved. This is why I love chess. Krasnov lost, by the way, but I must say it was quite the battle. I won't play chess for a while. I like making pauses between games. Krasnov wants to have another go at me, but he isn't too urgent. He wants to think about his mistakes first. This is why I respect the man. 14/4/1984. Another change in staff. In place of the departed Boris Snyder, we got two new scientists, Tarantev and Vavilov. Fairly young. We'll see how they cope with the research. I like Tarantev from the start. He's energetic, and he knows his place in life. 7/6/1984. Met another rookie on our team today, a Vavilov, a young man, fairly reserved if not shy. Also seemed to me kind of sentimental. He also enjoys chess and would like to play sometime. I like that. I want to know his playstyle. 23/6/1984. I have a vacation, but I'd rather not go home. A resort is also out of the question. The only idea I found worthwhile for my free time is to pursue my small passion. I'm a folklorist at heart, so I decided to drive around local villages, asking about local legends. Now, some folks around here remember legends and songs of old that are still unheard of by most folklore students. I'm so interested in finding how folk stories were conceived. What pushed the ancient people to create a certain myth? Where are its roots? Solving such problems is like being a real detective. I also learned that I'll be followed. Wherever I go, people from the Secret Service will shadow my every move. Well, I'm not offended by that. It's safer that way. 27/6/1984. A rich man drone. Written from the words of an old man living in the Duplyanskoye village named Gregory Korova. Once there was this lonely farmer that lived over yonder, where there is now a clearing. His surname was Trofimov, methinks, but we call him Drone. You know, like the lazy bee that only buzzes around with no work done. Now he was one lazy son of a gun, but how rich he was. Had no servants, almost no relatives, but still he prospered. It was like his farm was running itself somehow. People from our village avoided the man. My grandma used to say that each night a certain gate opens on Drone's fields, and devils pour out, holding pitchforks, plows, and shovels. You know, to work the Drone's fields. I don't know if that was the truth, but when the revolution of 1917 happened, and the communists came to take his riches, he gave them everything without a fight. All of his crops, all of his livestock. When the revolutionaries started to leave, he told them, "Take it all. I've got fertile land. I will grow more riches for myself." And you know what, comrade? I swear this is the truth. I saw it myself. And others saw it too. And we all saw how during the next night, rich man Drone's field changed. Oh yes, we saw it. Saw cows and goats and horses emerge from the ground. First the heads grew from the ground, then the bodies followed. Pale and milky like they were still undeveloped somehow. They crawled out of the ground screaming, foaming at the mouths, watching each other with wild, mad eyes. They grew out of rich man Drone's field like horseradish or potatoes. It was like the field birthed them. And next morning, rich man Drone and his new herds were gone without a trace. There are things on this earth much older than humanity, and they like one thing, my friend: solitude. This is why rich man Drone left these lands, I think, because we, humans, bothered him too much. Oh, and the livestock that the communists took from his farm, all of it died out soon. Horses, cows, pigs, and goats all fell apart and turned into moist soil, like the soil of Drone's field from which they came. So, if you remember, there was the woman we talked to in the Roaring Forest, I think, had that dream about a bunch of like pale cows and stuff. So it's a similar theme to this this folk tale as well. I don't know if it's connected to any of the other rumors we come across, like the goat cult or anything like that, but there's an interesting parallel there. Okay, 3/7/1984. In the Kono plus Plyasovo village, there's a legend that somewhere deep in the woods, there's a tree that is not really a tree. It was really hard to understand what the phrasing means. The only answer the locals gave me was, "You'll know it when you see it." One later added that if I manage to find this tree that is not a tree, I should bow to it. The tree will continue standing still after that. You walk away, boy. But if it bows back, there will be no place to go no more, he said. 25/9/1984. Nikiforov from the control center visited us today. We had a talk, later even drank together. Secretly, of course. We discussed the latest game in the World Chess Championship between the current champion Karpov and the new star in the scene named Kasparov. The match is still going, but Nikiforov thinks that Karpov will win. I, on the other hand, doubt it. I think Kasparov can still give a good fight. Yes, the Sicilian defense and a beautiful victory in 31 moves already happened. But I think the man is still just warming up. 14/11/1984. I visited Dr. Broad today to get some medicine against my headache. I do get those sometimes, but this one I have right now is just something else. It almost stings the skin on my head. Yeah, not if. Broad made a quick checkup and gave me a pill. I think I feel better, but why did it hurt like that? I sleep well, I eat healthy. Maybe it's cabin fever. Notice that Nina Semyonovna and her team also look pale and sickly. 19/2/1985. I'm so lucky that I never took a wife and have no kids. It's frightening to look at how some of my colleagues miss home. 4/3/85. Nikiforov visited today. I had a bottle of something special with him this time. We drank a little bit, talked about Karpov versus Kasparov, the famous chess match. I still believe that Campomanes made the right move, but Nikiforov thinks he chickened out. After the talk, Nikiforov told me about a project called Atom. He heard that it's codenamed for a contingency plan that'll be enforced in case of an all-out war. A creepy rumor. It means they are seriously preparing for war, but does the public know? I don't think so. After that talk, we mostly stayed silent. Finally, Nikiforov shook my hand and went back. I'm somewhat unnerved. 27/4/85. A bizarre and terrible fight broke off between Vavilov and me today. I can't even remember what started it, but we were almost at each other's throats moments later. We're lucky that the others pulled us apart and made us make peace. At the end of the day, we even decided we will play chess together as was planned. It's interesting to point out that the flash of rage was instantaneous and completely irrational for us both. We both can usually keep our emotions in check and our hands to ourselves. What has gone wrong? I think I should look into the behavior of my other colleagues. 3/7/85. Dr. Broad told me that a fair few of our research members came to him with violent headaches. Now, mostly men from Nina Semyonovna's team. Colonel Malashev and some soldiers also reported pains in the head region. 10/10/85. This is so much to read. Just now I woke from a terrible nightmare. As I woke up, quite terrified, a strange thought occurred to me. This is why I'm making this entry. It was not the first time I got that exact nightmare. I had a few of them, differing only slightly between themselves, starting from March. I will now describe the nightmare. I sit inside of my room in the bunker, on a bed I think, although it doesn't matter. There's light in the room. A light bulb is shining quite brightly. I'm reading a newspaper or something like that, when the door to the restroom suddenly starts opening slowly. I turn my head and ask, Semyonov? It's dark in the restroom. As nobody answers me, I get up from the bed and go to check why the door is opened. At this moment, I hear a voice from the darkness. It says a word, or a phrase. It's in Russian, I think, but I can't understand it. I ask again, is it you, Semyonov? And then a thought occurs to me. It is not a human voice. It is not a human. I woke up in tears. I have to pay attention to my dreams from now on. 21/12/85. My dreams are getting more vivid. In my last, I saw my first teacher, Maria Ivanovna. I wonder if that's... I still don't know if that's a soft or hard O. I don't know if it's Ivanovna or Ivanovna. She was wearing some sort of a cotton vest, covered with rusty red velvet spots. She was walking around the classroom giving me a lecture. When I suddenly had that thought again, her voice is not human. She is not a human. I awoke overwhelmed with terror. 16/2/86. Had a chat with Vavilov. Learned something bizarre. He gets nightmares that are very close to my own. The only difference is that in his dreams he is in Leningrad, his favorite city. Dr. Broad supposes it's because of the stress. Strange. I don't feel very stressed. Maybe some type of hidden neurosis. 5/5/86. They finally told us the news. While we sat underground, our planet died. Why am I not surprised? Strange. Dr. Broad gave everyone sedatives, but I didn't take any. I feel pity for my colleagues and their families, but I don't really give a heck about everyone else. 5/6/86. Today a group of soldiers is planning to go to the surface. We need food and resources. A lot of things, really. We also should find survivors and help them in any way we can. Probably. This is all too surreal. 1987. We don't have a lot of options. Colonel Malashev, me, Semyonov, Martinenko, Naiman, as well as Drill Sergeant Denisov and the privates Krasnonikov, Hatchetryan, Shakin, Samoylov, Kasanov, and Chernyavsky and Svetlov are calling topside. The others were hit by the news too badly. Krasnov went off his rocker, I believe. Good luck to us, I guess. Hope to write a new entry soon. Oh man, that was... There's a lot of words. I want to explore 2 more rooms and then we'll call it an episode. I want to get just more exploration done after reading all that. Journal entry. So the shared dream is something to keep in mind of as we progress through the story. I thought this would be a good place to have like a magazine that I could grab for a recipe or something. A skill magazine of some kind. Some money and nothing. Again, looking under the beds for any sort of safe or anything that I might be able to get my hands into. How does that thing work? Your tech skills aren't high enough to figure it out. That's a shame. So I think I played that... I was able to trigger that last time I played through the game. And it plays I think a Russian cover of another song. I want to say it was Highway to Heaven. My biggest concern is coming across another journal. But there aren't very many journals that are 30 pages long. So I'm not super worried about it. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fight those 2 ants at the end of the hallway, and then we'll call it an episode. I want to get too far ahead of myself and end up committing to more than I want to wrap up the episode, unless I end up pulling all of these enemies. Even then it's just 4, 2 rats, 2 ants. That's not too bad. So I really like this wall design. Makes a lot of sense for something like that to be down here in the bunker. I wonder if it has like if it's one of those like UV lights or something to give to trick your body into thinking that you're in the sunlight. Alright, fine. We'll check out this room as well. Then we'll call it an episode. Or I can finish exploring all the individual rooms. There's only a couple left. Well, I think this one has a lot of information in it. We'll save that one for next episode. This one, on the other hand, we can go ahead and clear out. Come on. I can ask for help, but I don't think it really matters because I have the, Oh, wait. Oh, I got it. Oh, we don't get experience if he opens it, though. I don't like that one bit. Alright, here's another diary. 24 pages. Oh boy. Alright. I'm gonna grab it. And I'm gonna call it here. In the next episode, we'll open up with reading that diary and then doing some more exploring of Bunker 317. Well, good. At least it's put it at the bottom of the listing of books. Alright, I'm going to call the episode here. In the next one, we'll read that diary and continue exploring through Bunker 317. See if we can't get behind the mystery of what they were researching here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode.